What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Calibria Crystal Guardians video. And today we're going to be doing Apex Arena. But before we get into the video, guys, I want to tell you a quick story. I went to work for about 3 hours today. We packed up everything. We put everything in the walk-ins. We got everything ready for the next 2 weeks because I won't be working probably for the next 2 weeks. I think on Sunday I have to go in and they're going to do like to-go orders. But then Monday they're going to be closed down for 2 weeks. So we got that out of the way. So I was home early and I was thinking, I was like, what video can I put up today? And I was browsing through YouTube and I noticed that there's not really a lot of Apex Arena stuff up. And I'm not too far in Apex Arena yet. I've just started really playing it. But I wanted to at least go with like show you guys how to start getting into it so you guys can understand like the beginning phases of getting into Apex Arena. So I thought that would be a good idea for today. But also, I also want to say, guys, thank you guys so much for your support. Your support has been absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how much it means to me. It absolutely means the world to me. Like every time I get a new sub, it like really makes my heart pitter. Like I can't even tell you guys the feeling it gives me is just absolutely amazing. I love every single one of you guys. Like you guys are so amazing, and from my heart, like I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you again, and you're making this amazing for me, and I love every single one of you. I want to give a special shout out to Sylvia, Starling, and Sammy. You three have been such a support system for me and have kept me going, and I love you guys so much. And it's not that I don't love you all the same, it's just that they've been there for me like a lot in this past 3 weeks. And thank you guys very much. It means a lot to me and I love you guys, and I love all of you guys. Again, I appreciate the support so much and I cannot say it enough. Spaceballs loves you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with no further ado, guys, let's get into the video, guys. We got some Apex Arena today. I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy. I'm a little stuffed up today. I don't feel sick or anything. I'm just a little stuffed up. So if my voice sounds a little scratchy, I'm sorry about that. I'm doing the best I can. I have some Gatorade, but it's not really helping like the scratchiness. I haven't been doing much yet. I unpicked my teams so I can show you guys like how you would go about picking the teams. When you're in the early stages of Apex Arena, you're only going to really need 2 teams, and I'll show you here why. Because like when you click a battle here, most people only have 2 strong teams, and I would recommend, guys, before you even start like really thinking about like Apex Arena, I would make sure that you have at least 12 to 15 6 stars before you even think about it. You could probably do it with 2 teams like most people do in the beginning, but I feel like once you get up to like 12, 1300 trophies, you are definitely going to need like more 6 stars. So the more 6 stars you have before going into this, the better. You could definitely farm it early like you do in the arena. It's not as easy because you cannot manual this. You cannot manual this stuff, guys. You have to auto it. So you have to really make sure that you're like, really like putting thought into your teams. And now my first team is always going to be the Druid, which is going to be the first one, and I'll explain to you guys why after I pick it. It's going to be the Windwalker, it's going to be Succubus, and it's going to be the Lynch, and they're going to move in that exact order, except for the Druid. He's going to move third. And the reason I have him move third is because I want him to put up his immunity just in case my Lynch gets cut in on. He won't take a defense break and, die, or something crazy will happen and he'll end up dying. So that's why I have the team moving like this. The reason my Druid is my leader is because he has a 24% speed lead in Arena. So this top one is my nuke team. It's my fastest team and it's my nuke team. So that's why I go with this for slot 1. My slot 2 team is going to be my tanky defensive team. So I'm going to run a defensive lead and I'm going to run defensive / tanky HP champions, mostly defense. And I'll show you guys that one. And that one's going to start with the Abyss Lord because he has a 44% defense lead in the arena, which is the highest one, I believe. I don't think there's anyone higher than that. And then we're going to use Destructive Idol. And then we're going to use Popo himself because Popo brings in the defense break. And you always want to make sure you have a defense break because it makes things go a lot faster, especially when when this is automatic auto. You definitely want to make sure that you're bringing a defense break into these teams. I mean, I know you're not always going to... I don't think I have one on my third one because you're not always going to have one, especially when you're first starting this stuff. You don't realize like how many defense breaks you need. I thank God I have 3 of them, but I know most people won't. So I would definitely focus on making 2 strong teams before you focus on making 3 strong teams. That's what I did at first. So, I would definitely recommend doing it that way. And for the last one here, I believe I go with my tank, the Princess. Where are you, Princess? There she is. She's still a 5-star, but she seems to do okay as a 5-star because she is just strictly a tank. I have her just HP defense stacked, nothing else. She's not there for damage. She's there for a strip, and she's there to be tanky and to take hits. And I can also switch the lead to her and use her as an HP lead. But since I have 3 monsters that are defense based, I go with the defense based lead. And now for my last team, I usually go with Mushi as the leader for the attack plus 33. And he also has a defense break on his 3rd skill, I believe. Let's make sure before I say that. He does, but I don't think I'm using the one with the defense break. Let's see. No, that's the skill cool. One of these guys has one. Attacks all enemies. No. No, he doesn't. Is it the Ripper? Nope. Yeah, so on my 3rd team, I actually won't even have a defense break, to be honest with you. But I think it's okay because I'm using Medusa, I'm using Archmage, and I'm using Selene. And I'm using Selene because she is like kind of like the Windwalker in a way. She gives like a 1-turn haste buff. But sometimes the problem is, and I'm even noticing this problem, so my 3rd team is going to change, but it really doesn't matter in this because most people don't even have a 3rd team. So that's why I'm just kind of putting in strong monsters. The problem with Selene is she only does it to 1 champion, and when you have to auto it, she'll give it to like a random one, so you never know who she's going to give the turn to. So she can end up giving the turn to like my Archmage like first, and I actually would want her to give the turn to either Medusa or Mushi first. But with it, it's totally random, so you never know who she's going to give the turn to. But for now, it's okay because, like I said, there's not many people using 3 teams right now. So let's get into one so I can show you guys. Now, like I said, it's automatically autoed. You cannot manually these fights, guys. They are autoed automatically. I was doing this yesterday or the day before a little bit. I wasn't getting too much into it, but you see how this team works. My Windwalker goes first. My Succubus goes second. My Druid goes third. And my Lynch goes fourth. And just in case my Lynch gets cut in on, my Druid goes before him and puts up the immunity because he favors his immunity skill. So that's why I do it that way. So if, just in case their team comes at me before my Lynch takes a turn, he won't be able to take any kind of debuffs or, attack breaks or defense downs or anything like that. So it just makes him stronger in the long term. So that's why I do it that way. And you see that team as well, very tanky, very strong. Even though they came at me, the team is so tanky and strong that there was really not much they could do there. So that one easy peasy, but we're still kind of low. But honestly, even for being low in this, it's still kind of challenging because, again, you have to auto them. And sometimes, like, even I noticed when I was getting around the 1100 cut mark, the runs were starting to take like a minute to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Like, it gets longer and longer. So I would definitely recommend going into this with a strategy. Don't just start like throwing monsters in a team and think that they're going to win because they're most likely not. Maybe in the beginning when you first start, but as you move on, you definitely need team synergy. And I hope like when you look at my teams, you can see the team synergy that I'm using and why, because it really comes a long way. And as you can see, like none of these people have a 3rd team. So the 3rd team, like in the beginning, it could kind of be whatever like mine is. Like, you don't need much. You just want some like real high damage. So like this way you can kind of like one-shot them. I definitely need to add a defense break to that team. So I'm thinking about building maybe... I gotta see a good 3-star that has a defense break and an AoE defense break, and maybe I'll throw him on the team. I was actually thinking about building a 2nd Windwalker for this as well, so I can use that on my 3rd team instead of Selene. I'm not sure about that yet. I don't know if you can use 2 of the same monsters in this. If you guys know that the answer to that question, please put it down in the comments and let me know if you can use 2 of the same monsters in different teams. I'd be curious to know that. So this way I know if it's worth building a 2nd Windwalker or not. Or I could probably check later, but I'd rather you guys tell me in the comments if you can. Let me know in the comments if you can use 2 of the same monsters in different teams. That would be interesting to know. But also, guys, I hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. I hope everything's working out for you. I hope you guys have lots of work, and I just hope you guys are feeling good and happy and safe. And I just appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and I want you guys to be, healthy, happy, and safe. That's all. That's the best thing I can say to you guys. Just be safe out there, and just do the best you can. You know, don't go crazy. Like I see a lot of people out there with these masks and these gloves, and they're acting like crazies. You don't need to act like a crazy guys. Like you can maintain your position without being overdoing it. But yeah, as you guys can see, like this team too, the Dragoon is actually very tough. That's why I'm very happy to have the Princess with the heal block, because for Dragoon you absolutely need a heal block because she keeps like regenerating her HP. So it's very, very important to have a heal block, in some of your teams, especially if you see a Dragoon in the team. You can even switch these around very simply. Like if you look at it here and you say, oh, this team is better than this, you can click this little arrow up or a little arrow down, and you can move your teams up and down. So if I feel like my first team will do better on the second one, I can click the arrow and it will move all my teams up one. So then I can switch, which team's going in the first round, the second round, and the third round. For right now, it doesn't really matter too much for me because of where I am in Apex Arena. But I can tell you right now, as you get up through the ranks of Apex Arena, it is going to take a lot of strategy and a lot of thinking, and you are definitely going to need like 15 to 26 stars, to make this happen on a consistent, basis. So definitely, this is not something you definitely want to like go crazy with early game. I would say this is more of like a mid to late game thing, but you can always farm your medals just like regular arena. There's nothing wrong with that. As you saw when we started this video, I had one monsters in each team, because again, they'll still drop you low, and you'll still be able to farm, on a consistent daily basis and collect your 3 medals per fight. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. I feel like it's the same basis as regular arena, except you cannot manual it, and it's a little bit harder because you have to actually pick 3 solid teams. It's not just like one team and you win. You actually have to have 2 to 3 solid teams depending on how high your trophies are when you are playing this. Like I said early on, it's always going to be a lot easier. This team looks fairly easy. He doesn't even have full 6 stars yet, so I don't even know why he has a full team yet. He should just have one I keep saying champion. That's from Raid Shadow Legends. He should have one monster in his defense, so he tanks low, and then he could just farm his medals, because he is nowhere near ready to be doing this yet. I don't even think I'm ready to really be pushing this yet myself, but I wanted to show you guys like the basics on getting started in the Apex Arena. I honestly can tell you guys, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's like a cool feature to have in the game. Honestly, I'm hoping they're going to add like a real-time arena, which maybe we call it RTA. I hope they add an RTA soon, because I love the, being able to play like live person battles. I think that is awesome. So I definitely hope they're working on that and like working on incorporating that into the game. And I also think that will help out the server issues they're having, like with building all these servers. If they have like a global like RTA where no matter what server you're in, you can RTA anybody in the world, I feel like that will really help them out a lot, and people will understand the server issue a lot more, just based on the fact that, you can fight anybody in the world. Because I think that's a lot of people's issues right now, is that they feel like, especially people in the worldwide server, they feel like, over time the worldwide server and like the S1 server is going to die, because everybody's going to join the new servers. Because if you're a new player, why would you want to join the worldwide server and play with a bunch of whales or a bunch of people that have been whaling out, for 2-3 months, when you can join the brand new server and play with a bunch of dolphins and actually be able to compete at the highest level? And that makes total sense, and I get it. I would do the same thing. And it's funny because when I started the game, I didn't even know you had a choice of picking a server. All I did was click the home screen. It said put a name in. I put a name in, and I started. And then I found out later on that I was on this S2 server, and that I could have actually picked the worldwide server. Me personally, I probably would have picked the worldwide server because I'm a YouTuber, and it would have been nice to be able to play with like some of the other YouTubers, because most of the YouTubers are on the worldwide server. So I probably would have picked the worldwide server, but again, I didn't know, so I just went with it. But the S2 server is actually great. There's a lot of great people on the S2 server, so I'm not mad about it at all. I enjoy it a lot. I actually like being on the S2 server, so I probably wouldn't change it now. But if I would have known in the beginning, I definitely probably would have picked the worldwide server. So they should definitely make that clear when you start the game, that when you pick the server, that's the server you're in and you cannot change it. They should definitely give us an option in the future to change it, because we should at least be able to change it once for like gems or something like that. So this way we're not stuck on one server, if we made a mistake and picked the wrong server or whatever it may be. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. So now we got a team here. We got Medusa, Windwalker, Shaman, and Druid. That's actually a very good team, but I think my speed team is going to cleave that real quick. And the bottom team, I'm not too worried about that at all. I know my defensive team is super, super strong. So I know that he's not going to be able to one-shot me or anything like that. So as you can see, my teams are holding up fairly well. But I'm still only around the 1100 cup mark. In a couple weeks, when I get a few more 6 stars, I'll really get into this, guys. And I'll try to push for, like, you know, the top 100 or whatever it is to show you guys that it can be done. But it is interesting that you cannot manual these runs, guys. Like, you see how that Eve just went first, and she has some type of like invincibility buff. So that's why I like having the princess in this team, because the princess has a strip. Yeah, I think she just used it, and she's able to strip that off. So you're definitely gonna need strippers. You're gonna need a lot of defense breakers. You're gonna need multiple attack, attack energy boosters. You're gonna need like a lot of variety to like really start pushing the Apex Arena heavily. So definitely keep that in mind when you guys want to get into the Apex Arena. It's definitely important that you have, you know, a bunch of 6 stars. So let's do this last one here. And again, Medusa, Mummy, Harpy, and I'm not sure. I think that's like the Chemist or something like that. Again, I'm not worried about these teams at all. But now I know, like, once my list refreshes, the teams are gonna get harder. My team should still be able to hold up to like 1400 cups, but I'm definitely going to keep working on this, you know, as the weeks go on, and I'm going to definitely push for higher cups. I just wanted to show you guys the basics so you guys can understand how this works. See, again, this guy has a suit. Like, I actually kind of slept on this team, but if you see like my team, how strong my team is, like my team goes, I got a defense buff, I got a haste buff, I got an attack buff, and I got a counterattack. So it's very hard for them to come, you know, at me, even if they take the first turn, because I'm utilizing all of my buffs. And I'm getting them up fast because my Windwalker's around like the 190 speed mark now. I would like her to be more closer to the plus 200 speed mark. But to be honest with you guys, it's not easy getting those speed runes, guys. Those C10 runs, I feel like I just keep getting 5-star runes, 5-star runes. I really haven't been seeing much 6-star love lately, you know? So I definitely hope they look into that. I hope they look into the Kalianite issue. There's very few issues in this game. Don't get me wrong. It's very free to play friendly, but it definitely has its issues. It's definitely not perfect yet, and they definitely have a lot of work to do. So that was pretty much it for my Apex Arena team. But now you can see, now the teams are definitely going to start to get harder. You know, now we're definitely going to start playing more, you know, tankier teams. Like even this one here. Oh, I got 2 more. I was going to say I was going to fill the medals just to show you guys some of these teams. But I have 2 more, so we can do these last 2, because I forgot that you get 2 for, like, when you complete a list, you get 2 medals, like 2 extra coins to go again. And the same thing with regular arena. When you complete the list, you get 2 more medals to go. They're not called medals, they're like chips. We'll call them chips. 2 more chips to be able to go again. So if you complete the list, if you have 10, then you'll actually have 12. So you can actually do 12 runs instead of 10 runs. So just keep that in mind. This team we're facing is actually very tanky. We might have an issue here, but that's good because I want to show you guys how like strong it actually gets. And we're only like at like 1100 cups. We should be okay. And also what I just noticed is as time goes on, all the attack and crit damage goes up by 20%. I believe like every turn it starts to go up after like the first 5 turns. It starts to go up, so everybody starts getting stronger and starts hitting harder. So it makes the runs go faster. It kind of like puts a speed limit on the runs in a way. So you can't just sit here for like 2 hours and just tank it out, because eventually the other team is going to get so strong, or your team is going to get so strong that you're going to start one-shotting them. So that's a good thing to know as well. But I've been having a lot of fun with this, guys. I really do like the Apex Arena. I really do like the Outer Worlds. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I think that's going to be my next video tomorrow morning. We're going to do some, I want to do some Outer World runs with you guys. I want to do like maybe like level 50 to like level 100 or something like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you guys want to see that. I think that will be a lot of fun. And with the Lynch's passive, if the teammates all die, he dies automatically. So just know that. So we got one more. Let's do one more. See, that one took like a good 3 minutes, guys, you know, because you can't manual it. So you never know what, like, auto's a funny thing. Auto's kind of like RNG. You never know what they're going to do, like, when you're autoing the runs. So you definitely want to keep that in mind when you're building your teams. Just make sure you have team synergy. Make sure you have tankiness. Make sure you have defense buffs. Make sure you have attack buffs. Try to have, if you have the Druid, definitely use the Druid. I have like 15 copies of the Druid. So if you can use multiple copies, I'm actually going to build like 2 of him, because he'll definitely be useful with his speed lead, his counterattack, and his defense buff. So I'm thinking about building 2 of him when I push up my cups. and 2 Windwalkers. I think having 2 Windwalkers and 2 Druids would be very, very efficient in the Apex arena. But I want to find out if you can use multiple ones in different teams first before I give you guys that, like, say go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it first, so I'll be the test dummy, and then I'll let you guys know in the next one. But I'm definitely going to be working on my Apex arena teams. Lots and lots of fun. But as you can see, we're still kind of nuking everything down, which is good. This team is actually very good because it's very tanky between Popo, Abyss Lord, and Destructive Idol. They are so tanky, it is going to be so hard for people to kill them. So it's actually a very good team. It's by no means a speed team. I think the highest one on the team is Popo, and he's at like 150. And you guys know Spaceballs does not like to be at 150. We like to be at 200 plus, 200 plus. But yeah, that's pretty much Apex Arena. I will go back to a one-person defense after this. I will show you. Actually, yeah, I recommend going back to... I'm not going to do it now because I have to fill my tokens, but I will go back to a one-person defense after this. And it's the same thing. You can use your medals in the shop. These medals you can only use in the shop. I will show you here. You can only use them in the honor shop, and you can only buy these things here. So it's like it's the stuff that you use to convert your champions. So like if you have a dupe 5-star and you want to convert him, these are the things you can buy with that, and you can buy an XP cat. But that's really all you can buy for now. I hope they add more stuff in the game that you can use these medals on, because I feel like there should be more of an option to use your medals, because like what happens when you have all the 5-stars in the game, then you have no use for buying convert stuff. That's just the way I see it. But maybe they have plans for the future. You never know. They're doing a great job. I don't want to say they're not doing a great job, because they're doing a great job. They've been really keeping up on everything and keeping up on keeping the game fresh. So I'll definitely give them credit for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. That's the Apex Arena in an early game version, like like when you're first breaking into the Apex Arena. I hope this helped you guys. Before we go, as always, thank you guys for the support. I love you guys so much. It means the world to me. You guys are making my dreams come true, and I can't thank you enough. If you guys like what you see and you want to hit the sub button, awesome. If you want to hit the like button, awesome. If you don't, I completely understand. Don't worry about it. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Spaceballs out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.